And if you guys like what you hear at madpod.com, why don't you send us some comments? You can email us at madpod@gmail.com. Go to our front page there in the show notes, and you can find our Skype number. It's very easy. If you have a Skype account, it's free. And there's also a phone number there if you don't have a Skype account, and it's just like a regular voicemail. And we can actually put your comments on the air if you wish. So go to our front page, madpod.com. All right. Here we go with the interview with Kevin Dubrow in Quiet Riot, Shadow Steel. madpod.com Friday. Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah.
Originally formed in and joining us live from Los Angeles, vocalist and founding member of the heavy metal rock quartet Quiet Riot, Kevin Dubrow joins us. Welcome, Kevin. A pleasure, my friend.
Thanks, Shadow. Good to be with you.
Kevin, how was the band formed back in the City of Angels during mid-1975?
Actually, Randy Rhoads formed the group back in '75. He was looking to put a rock band in his teens. I was 18, he was 17, and I got a phone call and heard him play, and it was just basically right out of high school we put the group together.
Kevin, Quiet Riot, billed by both Rolling Stone magazine and MTV as a rock and roll phenomenon, as the first heavy metal band to top the Billboard charts. Kevin, were you guys looking for radio airplay as part of your persona back then?
No, that was something the record company was looking for. We were raised on bands like Free, Humble Pie, and Led Zeppelin that really were not dependent upon radio airplay. We were thinking more in terms of being an album band and having a career built on, by the time the third album came out, we'd have some sort of a breakthrough. It happened a little different than we expected.
You know, Kevin, along with Van Halen, Quiet Riot became a major draw on the L.A. club circuit. Even though new wave and punk were the most dominating musical styles on the Sunset Strip, Kevin, what was it that drew even top 40 fans to your music?
Well, you'd have to ask the top 40 fans. We were so in the midst of doing it at the time. I think timing is everything in life. I think that an anthem like Bang Your Head really hit people for something they hadn't really heard, except for maybe by AC/DC at that time. I mean, Van Halen obviously had their own thing going on, but they weren't doing anthem-oriented rock. And I think we were the first band at that period of time to combine what AC/DC was doing and what Queen had done in the past with big anthems and put it out on the radio.
You know, Kevin, Randy Rhoads, as you mentioned, and you were signed to Columbia Records Japan and recorded 1977's Quiet Riot and 1978's Quiet Riot 2. That was a big break. Why didn't the domestic label in this country want to take a chance on your unique pop metal sound?
Well, it's a pretty accepted and well-known fact that record companies were stupid then. They're stupid now. They'll always remain stupid because commerce and art don't really meet very well. It's a war. So when you have record companies, keep in mind there's the word company there. These people have ears like a donkey. They don't know what they're listening to. So anytime something becomes a hit, it's by luck and people sorting through the garbage to get to the good stuff.
You know, Kevin, Randy was killed in a plane crash March 19th, 1982 while on tour in Florida and never lived to see the success of the group as your first Billboard Top 40 smash, Come On Feel the Noise from the Pasha LP Mental Health, peaked at number 5 pop September 17th, 1983, spending an unbelievable 21 weeks in the Hot 100. Kevin, who wrote most of your material?
Myself and our old guitar player wrote most of it. Come On Feel the Noise was written by an English band, and our producer had brought that song to the table, but we pretty much wrote all of our songs.
And Kevin, the follow-up single was also the title track which you mentioned, Bang Your Head, Mental Health, reaching number 31 pop January 7th, 1984. Kevin, was your tour schedule nonstop back then, as Quiet Riot was the hottest metal band on the top 40 music circuit as well?
Oh, yeah, we were burning up the highway, 220 shows in the first year alone.
MadPod.com.
Live from Los Angeles with vocalist and founding member of the heavy metal rock quartet Quiet Riot, Kevin Dubrow joins us. Kevin, your second Pasha album, Condition Critical, yielded Mama We're All Crazy Now, peaking at number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100, July 7th, 1984. Now, this was the second Slade hit that Quiet Riot capitalized on. Who came up with reworking those classic tracks?
Well, the second one was an idea of the bands, but you have to keep in mind that many bands have interjected cover tunes within their repertoire, having the Beatles having done Chuck Berry songs, Van Halen did 2 Kinks songs, time and time again, the Rolling Stones doing Chuck Berry songs. So it's not unusual for groups to include cover tunes in their repertoire.
Kevin, tell us about the original members of the band, including veteran drummer Frank Banali.
Well, he's my partner in crime. He's sort of like Frankie and I go together like peas and carrots. You wouldn't have Quiet Riot without Frankie and I together. We tried it at one time or another, both of us with different singer and different drummer respectively, and it didn't work. So not only is he my dearest friend, but he's the best drummer in rock and roll as far as I'm concerned, and he's with the heartbeat of Quiet Riot.
Kevin, what happened with tour mate Janie Lane back in 2004 during the Bad Boys tour?
Well, if all you got to do is watch the Celebrity Fact Club on VH1 to find out what his issues are. It was a chapter in my career that as much as I enjoyed having the solo album I had at the time, working with him was most unpleasant. But he has problems he needs to try to address, and I only wish someone with sickness such as he's suffering from the best of luck, because he definitely needs help.
Kevin, how did Chuck Wright from Jafria wind up taking over for bassist Rudy Sarzo back in '85?
Actually, Rudy Sarzo took over for Chuck Wright in '82 because Chuck Wright had been in the band Dubrow after the original Quiet Riot had split up. So Chuck has been in the band more times than Sarzo had, and Sarzo was pretty much Chuck's replacement. Chuck played on Bang Your Head, that's Chuck Wright on bass. And Chuck appears on every Quiet Riot album up until the last one.
Kevin, fill us in on the details on the injunction filed against the band for ownership of the name Quiet Riot.
There was no injunction filed.
In looking back, Kevin, I often wonder as to what prompted your wild spelling of some words in Quiet Riot's song titles, such as Come, Noise, We're, and Crazy.
Yeah, those are songs we didn't write, so I can't tell you. You'd have to ask the original writers.
Now, Quiet Riot currently on the Rock Never Stops tour, performing at such venues as the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, the Trump Marina, Atlantic City, and the Wisconsin State Fair, West Allis. Tell us about the road trip this year, Kevin. Pretty much nonstop?
MadPod.
Yeah, we're on this Rock Never Stops tour with our friend Cinderella. They're a great band. It's a great night out for anybody who wants to enjoy great music from the 80s, very entertaining night. It's a great summer package, and I recommend everyone who wants to have a good, positive night of music to come and check it out.
Now, Kevin, you released your first solo album entitled In for the Kill on Shrapnel Records, a collection of carefully orchestrated cover songs to fit your bluesy vocal style. What a great rendition of Stay With Me by Faces.
Thank you. I really was a big Faces fan, and it was something that I hesitated to tackle because he's such an unmistakable singer, Rod Stewart, but I was really pleased with the end result.
Kevin, what inspired both your debut and follow-up LP covers, which pictured a deranged, hockey-masked individual in the tradition of the Friday the 13th movies of the era?
We just wanted to come up with an icon that was memorable for our group, like Iron Maiden at the time had Eddie, and certain other groups had other iconic images, and that's the one that, combining all of the different band members' ideas, was the end result.
From Los Angeles, vocalist and founding member of the heavy metal rock quartet Quiet Riot, Kevin Dubrow. Kevin, thank you so much for taking time out of your road schedule to take us on a trip down memory lane with just some of your greatest and latest hits, my friend.
My pleasure. Thanks, Shadow.
MadPod.com. And James Donnelly.
Don't get mad. Get media. MadPod. MadPod.com. MadPod.com.
All right, we'd like to thank Shadow and Kevin Dubrow from Quiet Riot for doing that interview and coming on to MadPod.com. Shadow will be back next Friday, and maybe sooner. You just never know. Here at MadPod.com. You never know what to expect here at
MadPod.com.
That's right. So, in the Jeopardy news, how many times did I screw up during this show today? Once? No? Twice? How about 5 or 6 times? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, you enjoy your weekend. This is Jay Donnelly signing off for this week at MadPod.com. And if you missed anything, you could always rewind, or you can go back to past shows. We've done past interviews and other crap and kudos and comments and comedy and humor and just a little bit of everything. So why don't you dig through the old